everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed my last video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. So today's sew along is a cheeky Catholic schoolgirl uniform, and the inspiration behind this is that me and my friend Jade, we are going to see Bonnie Boo's Making a Holy Show of Yourself on May the 12th in the Reg, Waterford. It's a comedy burlesque show and it's going to be amazing. She's really good. So today I don't have the finished product made yet, but it's very nearly made, and by the end of this video it will be finished. So I've started with a sketch of what it should look like, what we're hoping to get. Now, so we've got our nice gathered skirt, our suspender straps at the top, and a little dicky bow. And the fabric that I'm using today is this lovely brown houndstooth, but you can use any kind of tartan, stripes, cotton that you want, any kind of fabric, whatever takes your fancy. So without further ado, let's get started. So first things first, you'll need to grab a measuring tape like so and measure around your waist. I'm using Winifred the mannequin to show you more clearly what to do, but obviously you'd be measuring your own waist. And then next we're going to do the strap measurements. So I'm pinning the front of the strap on Winifred where I want the strap to start on the waistband. And I'm going to come around to the back now. And I've chose to do a crisscross strap on the back, but if you want normal straps, then work away and pin your normal straps. And again, I'm going to pin that to the mannequin so that I can get my measurement and see where I want it to go. Next, you'll need to gather your supplies. I have pins, a measuring tape, scissors, elastic for the waistband, and my fabric. For the skirt, you will need to cut a rectangle of fabric that is double or triple your waist measurement and your desired length, plus 1 inch for seam allowance. At the end of the video, I'll be showing you what the double skirt looks like versus the triple waist measurement skirt. And then just cut out your rectangles like so that it's a big long strip that's much bigger than your waist. And I'm just going to cut out a second one because obviously we're going to double and triple the waist measurement to show you both results. Now the straps, I'm using my meter stick to roughly estimate the width of the straps, and I'm cutting out the straps to the measurements that we got off the mannequin earlier. And I'm using my meter stick to gauge the width of mine. And then you'll just do the same. For the bow, I'm cutting a 10-inch square of fabric on the fold so that I get 2 10-inch squares per bow. So I'm just using my ruler to get it square. So I'm going to cut that out. Now I'm cutting off a small strip about 2 inches wide for the middle of the bow. So I'm starting with the hems next, and I'm just folding a double fold all along the bottom edge of the skirt. And I've done this before sewing up the side seams just because it's not the most professional way to do it, but I find it to be effective if you're just doing something that doesn't need the 100% best finish. So I'm just rolling the hem down and pinning as I go, and then I'm going to sew the entire length of that down And I'm being very careful in pinning to make sure everything's even and straight. Next, I'm going to sew the side seams shut. So I'm pinning my 2 side seams together and sewing them shut. Right sides together, by the way. Now to make the waistband, we're going to fold a 1/4 inch of fabric down at the very top and then make a bigger fold. And to sew this down, we're going to sew along the innermost fold to create a casing for the elastic. And I'm leaving a space open so that I can feed the elastic in. So I'm sewing around on the bottom edge where I created my first initial fold, and then that will leave a big enough gap around the casing so that I can feed the elastic through without any hassle. So now that that's done, I'm taking a length of elastic 2 inches shorter than my waist measurement, and I've put a safety pin on one end to feed it through. So I'm going to feed that in a little bit, and with the other end I'm going to pin it to the inside of the skirt so it doesn't get sucked into the casing. And I'm just going to feed through the entire length of elastic, and that will gather the fabric as I push it through. And I'm just going to keep going until I come full circle. Once I've come full circle, I'm going to sew the 2 ends of the elastic together. And then I'm going to sew the open end shut of the skirt casing. Now, there's the elastic getting sewn in. Make sure to sew over it a couple of times so that it's nice and strong, because once it stretches you don't want your threads to snap and then break. And I've just cut off any little bits of excess elastic. And now I'm sewing the closure so that there's no hole in the waistband. And that's the skirt. Next is the straps, so I'm pinning them right sides together. And I'm sewing along the 2 long ends and 1 short end, leaving the last short end open so that we have enough room to turn it the right way out. And take your pins out as you go so you don't stomp all over them with your needle, because that causes the needle to break and it's a big mess. Now I have pinned the straps to the skirt where I want them to go, and I'm just sewing them into place with the raw edges on the inside of the waistband so that they're not on view. And take your time with this part, because with the gathers and the elastic it can be a bit awkward and fiddly to feed it into the right place and to keep the strap in the right place where you need it. So just take your time with it. Rethread your machine if you need to. Few technical difficulties. And we're back in business. It's time to start getting excited now because your skirt's very nearly finished. We're getting to the final kind of stage now, which is the bow. So I've sewn the bow right sides together with one corner open to turn it right way out. And now I'm taking my centerpiece, wrapping it around until I get a bow shape that I'm happy with. And then I'm going to hand stitch it shut. And I'm also going to go back and hand stitch the little opening in the corner that I left open to turn out the bow. So I recommend hand stitching that for a cleaner finish, but if you want to just run the top corner through the machine either, it's entirely up to you. And take your time and make sure that you get a nice bow shape that you want and that it looks like a nice kind of evenly scrunched bow. Like so. So here is the double waist measurement skirt. It's not overly gathered. It's quite almost like a pencil skirt, but not. Still cute though, very cute. And here is the tripled waistband skirt where you tripled your waist measurement. I personally prefer this design more because it's more full, it's more gathered. It's got that kind of cartoonish effect with the giant dicky bow. So there you have it. That's how to make your own comedy schoolgirl uniform with a ginormous dicky bow. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. That would be really nice of you. And if you want to see more sewing videos in the future, comment below what you'd like to see and maybe I can make it happen. Bye!